We were really excited to be able to give this award to 3 people that really do embody the greatness of this country, the ability to create something from scratch. And all 3 of them came from really tough situations, and they were to pick themselves up and make something of themselves, not only professionally, but also the way they live their personal lives in terms of giving back and realizing how fortunate they are to live the American dream.
My dad worked as a nuclear chemist developing nuclear subs, and my mom was an English teacher. And we applied to immigrate to the United States 5 years prior to our immigration, and we were immediately approved thanks to the Jewish community's help in the United States. But my dad had to actually quit his job as a nuclear scientist because his secrets had to get outdated. So that finally happened in May of '92. We immediately packed our bags, flew to New York, then to Chicago from Moscow. As we were driving from the train station in Moscow to the airport, we were shot at. And a couple tires would have been blown out if these were not armored cars.
My parents and family had spent many years dealing with a lot of persecution. My grandfather fought in the war and hid them in the mountains in a cold region where the Nazis did not actually enter or want to go. It was a communist country, so there was no freedom and rights for them. Created an opportunity in '79. A lot of Russian Jews were able to leave and come to America. They had spent time migrating through Italy. My parents lost all of their belongings and money and came to America with, I think, $500 and started from the beginning.
We came to the States in 1989. We went through a long journey of 9 months of being refugees in Italy after being 15 years refugees in the Soviet Union. My grandparents, who were living in Moscow at the time, were very politically active and very much Zionists. They were refugees for over 20 years. They were finally able to leave in 1985 to Israel, which took us another 5 years to finally get our approval to leave the Soviet Union. We finally got to Italy, and at that point, it was a question of which country would have let us in. This was extremely difficult given the fact that we were allowed to take $100 per family out of the Soviet Union. So just started from scratch in Italy. It was extremely draining. Once we got to the States, started from scratch again. Due to the help of Kias and special American family that I hold in my heart, we were able to get our feet on the ground and make a life.
I went to high school in Niles North in Skokie, and I started a company called Memory Suppliers. I was building computers for my friends and family and my mom's English students. And then I had a few pieces of computer memory left over. So I threw them up on eBay and I left for work. I come back and I sold the memory for $50 more than I bought per unit. So I bought 4 more pieces of memory for even a better price. Then I bought 10 pieces, made $70 per unit. Then I asked my mom to borrow her credit card. She told me if you can't pay this back, we're gonna lose the house. And I did. I made like $80 to $90 per stick. And that was it. Started selling thousands of pieces within 3 months. My dad was packing, my mom was doing accounting, I was customer service, the technical guy, the manager. I had different personalities. I would switch accents. I would transfer to myself. Mike was the manager. Hello, this is Mike. He's a great guy.
I was 19 going to college, and at that time one of my close friends' father was a banker, had opportunities to buy shares in the stock. My friend borrowed money from his parents, bought 1,000 shares, and then I felt I was going to be a cowboy as well and willing to take risk. I borrowed $32,000 from my parents, which was my college money, bought shares in an IPO, didn't even know what an IPO was, and a few weeks later when that IPO opened up, I was up $250,000.
The United States has provided me a tremendous opportunity to be very entrepreneurial and very creative in the business world. My background was fairly mathematical and high-level chess. I was able to use very strong analytical skills and logic to start trading. I started at a fairly young age. Prior to that, I built a fairly decent bankroll by working extremely hard. I started trading when I was 20 years old, had my firm up and going by the time I was 22.
I remember one year, I think it was 3rd grade, my final year in schooling. And I was kind of being maybe a wise ass a little bit to the teacher. And the teacher looked at me and said, Lyonya, my Russian name. Don't forget, you're a freedman.
I think in today's world, ADL's place is very critical. The level of anti-Semitism has reached critical levels across the world.
Whenever there's an event that involves anything Israel-related, Jewish-related, that is not seen by the public opinion as favorable or is not liked by a certain demographic, ADL is there to always call it out, to always bring both the government and the community's attention to it. And thank God for that.
I couldn't even imagine how different my life had been had ADL been there through my childhood. The one have a name Gennady, not speaking any English, coming to the States. Kids obviously, have a hard time with your name and they have fun with it.
ADL has resonated a lot in my life, starting with cyberbullying and bullying. My daughters recently had to experience negative behavior, so I think that experience has really helped make me want to fight and really look deeper into seeing how we could help the ADL mission.
To see these guys as incredibly productive, incredibly philanthropic citizens in our community, really giving back and really demonstrating the things that can be achieved from a dream in the United States is the most gratifying thing for me. It makes all the work that all of us do in the community through many organizations, certainly through the Anti-Defamation League, seem really tangible. And now they're not only incredibly productive members of this community, but they give back and they want to pay it forward.
It's very simple. Live your life, try new things, contribute, add something.
I've always taken pride in waking up every day and just trying to be better man or better businessman, and I still stick to that today.
If you work hard and you just focus on yourself and not worry about everybody else, you'll be successful.
It's okay to fail. It's okay to screw up. It's okay to make a mistake.
Educate yourself by becoming aware of who you are, how the world works, how business world works.
Create a company, create a business, create a product where the client is thankful that you exist.
Try to surround yourself with people that are smarter than you. This country is an amazing place to do business or to work. Take full advantage of it.
Don't think outside the box. Walk away from the box and then think.